Not near mint says he likes my style. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Since the beginning of all comic books, creators have been mistreated. As for better pay, only to be told,
No!
Then, something happened that brought all media together. The internet brings comic fans around the world into one comic community. We support the just pay and recognition of these comic creators' comic fam. Because comics are for everyone. It's 10 p.m. Eastern, live from the United States to Australia. This is the Not Near Mint Show. A weekly YouTube show about comic books. Welcome to the Not Near Mint Show, everybody. Today is October the 6th, 2021. It is the 112th episode of Not Near Mint. Tonight's episode, we have special guests, Matt and Pete. They just put out the Bardic Verses. They're campaigning for it here on Kickstarter tonight, and we're bringing it in. But first, we have a very, very special return tonight. We have the return of...
Hey, lady! Lady!
Welcome back, Lady Fantastic.
Thank you so much for having me. I am so glad to be back with my fellow nerds. Can't wait to interrupt Miracle Man when he talks too much.
Yeah, that'll happen.
What's up,
That'll happen tonight.
Keep his ass in line. Hey, Ace. Hey, Matt, nice to meet you. Pete, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Kirk, you're a dick. And
so kind.
And Lady's going to finish this opening by saying she's tired. She's going to have to get to bed in about 18 minutes.
That might be me tonight.
So, Matt and Pete, yes, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Thanks.
Thanks
for having us.
And so what are we talking about tonight?
Yeah. Could you tell the audience a little bit about what the Bardic Verse is all about?
Sure. The Bardic Verses is a book about a bard who comes from a long line of warriors. He decided not to pick up the sword and picked up a lute instead. We kind of follow the bard on his many adventures, and he just deals with that shadow of legacy following him around. He deals with, just being kind of an NPC in his own story. The book is sort of an anthology. It's this bard playing songs, telling stories, and each of the stories are illustrated in a different art style to kind of show the different music style or storytelling style that he might utilize. And, it follows him on a couple of adventures, but we find out that there's actually a reason he's at that bar that he's playing at throughout the course of the book. And then we end the book at that bar when he finishes up his set, and we go from there.
Awesome. Now, how did the two of you come together on this project?
So that is a whirlwind romantic story if there ever was one. So Matt and I share the same day job. We have the same employer, work in different facilities, different teams, and whatnot. And I kept hearing, hey, there's this guy. He wrote some comic books. He's been published. You should talk to him. You guys probably have a lot in common. And similarly, at the same time, he was seeing little scribbles or drawings I put together and kind of passed out to different coworkers. And he's like, hey, somebody's an artist. Who's the artist? I got to talk to this person. And it all just kind of fell on the holiday Christmas party where we met up. And it was fireworks. It was explosions. It was very, very romantic, very hot stuff. And So he was working on as part of an anthology called Kayfabe Volume 3. It was a wrestling anthology. He asked if I was interested in doing a pinup, which I did and was lucky enough to get published in. That's how I kind of got the bug. And from there, we just started brainstorming, like, what can we do? What can we come up with?
Nice. Now,
Passionate.
in RPGs, bards are generally they're the overlooked sort of players. Now, what led you to want to focus on the bardic verse on the underdog in the fantasy world?
So, a couple of different things. Number one, like you said, underdog, right? It's just another way to tell an underdog story. Again, like, you know, he comes from this famous, prolific family of warriors, and he wasn't that. So, the other thing was, at the time when we, like, right before we started workshopping this book, the Witcher Netflix show was popular, and they have a very great bard character on that show that had an earworm of a song. And we just, like, I don't know, like, it was just in my head. And then I started talking to Pete. Pete's like the resident tabletop RPG player. And we started talking about bards, and he was telling me, like, that, you know, people don't really play as bards because they're not the cool, flashy character, right? They're not the guys swinging swords. They're not the guys casting spells. They're, like, providing inspiration. So, you know, I really wanted to explore that. I wanted to explore what that character would do, like, put him in these situations and see what, you know, how we could write him out of it, how we could draw him out of these situations. And it was really a fun way to tell stories.
And with Throw the Coin to Your Witcher, watching that entire show, watching how annoying he can be, mostly the bards tended to be the fools. And the fools in Shakespeare tended to be those that were generally the wisest people in the entire storyline. They could get in trouble, but they could also get out just as easily.
Yeah. There's definitely some of that in the book for sure. You know, like if I were to compare our main character Martell to, like, Dungeons and Dragons statistics, he's got high charisma, good intelligence, and maybe slightly less than moderate wisdom. Like, he's smart enough to get himself in and out of situations, but maybe he's not wise enough to recognize when he needs to. You know.
So he's Chaucer in A Knight's Tale.
Yeah, essentially.
All right, Paul Bettany. Dig it. All right, cool. It looks like we had somebody in the chat here who actually got that anthology that you had worked on before, said that they thought it was really great.
Yeah, I saw that was Mario. Mario is a contributor to that anthology.
You might be biased, Mario. You might be biased. But I'm sure it was good. I'm so sorry, Rob. I stepped all over your excellent interview.
Not at all. So we already got past how the two of you got together on this project. Now, have you done any kind of promotions through different conventions? Have you been setting up where you might be heading over the course of maybe next year?
Not really. So we were actually planning on going to the big New York show this weekend, and then Matt and I, you know, in talking, decided that maybe it wasn't the right time. So we're not going to be attending New York Comic Con this weekend. Most of our promotion has been strictly through online stuff, social media blasts, sending things out like clockwork on the hour, and getting onto shows like this fine one here, and just kind of spreading the word and meeting new people and talking about it. I think next year we've talked about, trying to get into a couple of conventions, getting enough books printed where we actually have a nice surplus to bring the show to show. But I think we're probably going to shoot small scale too.
Now, earlier this week, I think it was yesterday, day before, days blend together in post-pandemic world.
True.
But Facebook went down, and a lot of people that were trying to get marketing out, whether it was for Kickstarter, did that impact you guys at all?
Not so much, honestly. I think the way that it probably impacted us the most is that Matt and I are in constant, and I literally mean constant, communication about the book and things that we see, whether it be a wrestling thing, the Marvel trailer or a what if, chats, pops up. But I mean, we're constantly like spitballing ideas with each other about the book too. So it was a quiet day between us, which I don't think we've had for like 9 months prior. Other than that, no, it didn't like impact marketing so much. It was a nice day off, honestly. Sorry, Matt.
No, you're absolutely right.
Were you going to say something?
That's true. It's true.
Matt's over here like, listen, you don't get days off in the indie comics game, man. You are selling comics 24/7.
No days off.
You're going to work. You're getting on the bus.
I mean, at least Twitter was still up, so I was still posting on Twitter, and Facebook I didn't really miss that much.
Twitter who?
I don't. You know what? I don't even know. I don't even think Zuckerberg missed Facebook that much. I mean, he misses the $7 billion, but I don't know if he missed the platform.
I'm sure he has other ventures.
Oh, I'm sure. There's an island somewhere with humans being hunted right now. I'm sure.
We have to acknowledge the fact that like Facebook is a more corrosive adversary than fucking Russia. Like we just gotta.
The reality of the social media that is Facebook is that if you engage with people that just make you angry, that is all Facebook will put in front of you. So if you want to, drown that baby in the bathtub, so to speak, John Bolton used that language first. I'm just borrowing it. So if you wanted to drown that baby
welcome
in the
to the
bathtub,
show, guys. We're drowning babies.
Stop reacting to things that anger you, and it will go away.
But I like being angry.
True.
And I'm like Ren from Ren and Stimpy, so I get that.
So anyway, Bardic Verses.
That was
Actually,
a top 10 segue.
Well, I was going to say, tell us a little bit about you, each one, and I'll start with Matt. So what exactly got you into comics? Was this something that was lifelong, that you appreciated comics? Was this something new? I mean, where are your influences and what are you reading now?
Wow, that's a lot. Lifelong comics fan. I've been reading. Yeah, I've been reading comics since I was old enough to read. I started kind of putting together the pieces of like actually wanting to make comics right around the time I read Ultimate Spider-Man #1. Brian Bendis is a master of the craft. Around 2009, I self-published a one-shot. That kind of brought me to a publisher that has since folded, unfortunately. But I did a 5-issue run of a comic called Dedication about a bunch of kids working the overnight shift during the Night of the Living. at a supermarket during the Night of the Living Dead. I did some. Thank you. I did some. Anthology work after that, and that kind of led me to doing my first Kickstarter with Pete with Bardic Verses. As far as what am I reading now? I have a stack of trades, probably like as tall as I am. I'm 6'4". I try not to read a lot when I'm creating because I don't want to this sounds so pretentious. I don't want to unknowingly borrow ideas or bits of dialogue from anything that I'm reading. So I just have my to read pile is just trades. It's all trades that of stuff that's come out that I haven't gotten around to. Like right now I have the second and third deluxe volumes of Sex Criminals by Matt Fraction and Chip Zdarsky that I'm going to get into. I have the first volume of Fist of the North Star that I really want to get into.
There we go.
I'm trying to. Oh, and I just got this book. Hold on, I gotta.
I'm blowing you up for this.
Did you hear what Eddie Gain done by Carol Chester and Eric Powell about Ed Gain? I'm psyched to read it. But yeah, I mean, while creating this book, I really didn't read a lot. I'm working on a couple other things that I can't really talk about at this moment, but so hopefully when the dust settles, when the Kickstarter ends, I'll start, getting cracking my backlog and reading some books.
Matt, if you don't mind, I was a big fan of that that zombie era story that you told. I bought all of those. I might have been I might have been the only guy who bought every one of those. So so and I don't mean that as a slight. I didn't know a lot of people who bought those books.
I get it.
And unfortunately they're not with us. They're not with us anymore. So, but it was Double Take, right?
Yeah.
Was that like Take Two Interactive's comic division?
Yeah, run by Bill Gemis, who's now running AWA Studios with Axel Alonso. It was, like you said, it was 10 books, all taking place in different parts of town during Night of the Living Dead. So there was, again, my book was at the supermarket in town. There was a book at the radio station. There was a book that followed the characters that kind of continued their story. It was a lot of fun, honestly, to work on. Kind of a nightmare editorially because we had to like make sure all of the events in our books were like happening at the same time, and there was like crossover. Like eventually, like the two main characters from Night of the Living Dead like showed up at the supermarket and in their book. Like it was a whole thing, but it was a lot of fun. And again, like it opened doors for me that otherwise wouldn't have. So I can't really slight it.
Right. It was very ambitious. I think everything came out on the same day, right? There was every one of the books or something like that came out on the same day. So, they definitely tried some different things with it. There's a very varying degree of different types of art within the two books or within all 10 books. But if you guys see them, they're worth a read. And some good stuff from Matt. I don't imagine you get residuals because it's not like you can buy them from the company.
No,
okay.
So for couple things. One, it's out of print. All the books are out of print. They're not printing them anymore. And two, like I don't get royalties or anything from those books. So please, if you find them on like eBay or Amazon, like just go buy away. Like you can probably get them in a dollar bin somewhere. The trades are super cheap. My book was called Dedication. Cheap plug. Just check it out if you can. It was fun. I had fun.
It was good stuff. If you guys want to get an idea, that was a lot of fun.
I'll definitely hunt down the tray for sure.
Rob, I got that screen shared if you wanted to bring it up.
But first let me also get Pete's answer to that question. Lifelong dream for you, working in comics, influences, reading anything now?
Sure. I've always been into art, even as like a young child, and I had some awesome grandparents that owned a hobby shop, and this was in the early '90s.
Oh, damn.
So when I was in middle school, I'd hang out there some weekends, and help around the shop or whatever. And my pay was 90s Marvel, DC, and Image Comics. It was like right when Image was coming out, so it was like from somebody who loves art, like here they're basically like tying off my arm and tapping right into there with the art, right? Like here's some Jim Lee, here's some Todd McFarlane, here's Mark Silvestri, just and that just skyrocketed my interest, and caused a little bit of a pricey addiction, I guess, with comics. So
you ain't lying.
Yeah, for real. So that's where I kind of got started. That's and from there, the dream was to always draw a comic book, I had a family at a young age, so I kind of had to put that on hold for a little bit, but here I am now. And what's cool about this is my kids are now older too, so I've got 2 in college, and it's like I get to show them that, hey, I had this dream when I was about your age, and now I'm coming back to it, and it's okay to come back to your dreams if you have to park them for a little bit. You just have to make sure you do it.
Do your kids do art too?
Yeah, actually, one of them's
Nice.
Very good. He's actually going to school for animation. So,
oh wow,
that is awesome.
Yeah. What am I reading? Probably not as much as I want to. That's for sure.
That's most of us.
Once in Future. I did pick up volume. I did pick up a trade for Walt Simonson's Ragnarok because I love his Thor, and I kept hearing about it, and I just never did anything with it. I have yet to open it. I've been getting a bunch of stuff from Kickstarter, for those of you that may have disdain for the Christmas season, like I do. I highly recommend Yule. It's pretty good. I read it earlier today.
That art is amazing.
Loved it. It's a nice anthology, and it really lands. And Side Quest, which is fantastic. If you like D&D and fantasy comics, it's worth a look for sure. But that's pretty much it. I've been diving into like old D&D books because the one thing that I find is that drawing a fantasy comic is really making me want to play Dungeons and Dragons again. So,
when's the last time you played a game?
March, and before that it was months and months also. So it's been a bit.
I've only played one game in my life, and it was.
Hey, Kirk, guess what? I've never played either. I've always wanted to.
Me too.
But no one ever went. Hey, Rob, you want to play?
I went to school in the hood, so there wasn't nobody playing D&D there.
I will be y'all's dungeon master.
Nice.
I will do it.
You gotta do all the voices too.
Oh, I will.
Miracle Man brought this up. This is the Bardic Verses on Kickstarter, and I think that Ace brought up the link a little earlier, so you can copy that in the chat and paste that if you want to go and get that. Now, what are some of the tiers to buy into Bardic Verses?
Pete, so yeah, sure. So we have a digital and physical tier, which is as standard as it sounds. Both are entry level. They're $20. The physical tier, though, there's the extra charge of shipping, I guess. We have a retailer tier, which is 5 books at cost. There's zero gain at all on that for us. We just, want to help out any shop that's interested in picking it up. We do have 3 art tiers as well. We have a physical copies are included with all art tiers. One is a traditional 5x7 piece, which will just be a random drawing of one of the characters from the book that'll be tucked in with the shipment. We have a digital portrait that's geared more toward the tabletop role players. So if you have a character that you're playing, be it in Dungeons and Dragons, Shadowrun, Vampire, whatever, I'll draw your character for you. Super.
Ooh, that is awesome.
Yeah, and then we had another tier which was the same thing, but it was a physical. I would draw your character for you, but we would actually have it printed on a high quality 11x17 canvas. Those went pretty quick, so there's no more of those left.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah. I was.
I'm already thinking about what character I want. My dwarven cleric.
That's very cool. So I love our hero here. This is a very Kirby-esque pose.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. The hand coming right at you and everything. It's perfect. I do kind of wonder, is this
What's up with Gary? What's up with Gary?
Right. He kind of reminds me of like an alternate Earth Calvin. You know what I mean? Like
sort of.
Or like a really put upon Archie Andrews when he was like 13 or 14. Is this our hero as a child?
Well, you have to read.
You don't want to spoil.
But it's so every time he tells the story, it's done in a different art style, right? So we've through that I've channeled Kirby, Miller, Rob Liefeld, though that's more of a parody than an homage.
I love it.
We've got some Disney animated style. Brian Oatley, Bill Watterson. Bill Watterson, we did that's a single page story in the book, and that was the most therapeutic thing I've ever drawn in my life.
It had to be nostalgic.
Yeah, dude, it was actually very, it was kind of challenging because it's not my style. Like,
Yeah.
and that's one of the challenges I had, bouncing back and forth, draw a few pages in my style, draw a few pages in somebody else's. So
But I think that's a good way to challenge yourself as an artist, though, to step outside, especially to step outside your comfort zone.
Always.
Oh, comfort zone was out the window. Like the first time I went back to my style, man.
Like anime is like my style, and when I like try to like draw like superhero characters, it's like I feel so like, oh, I can't do it. It's not as easy as like just drawing like a Goku or something.
And when you're trying to like pull somebody else's style and make kind of do your own thing with it, you pick up the good things and the bad things with that. So we actually went back and redid the first 3 pages of the book just because like my style had kind of evolved.
It grew. So, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
You need to make it look consistent.
Yeah. That's important.
I do want to say a couple of things. One, I love that your stretch goal is to make the book a hardcover and not like, a lanyard or like a coin or a postcard. Like, here's the thing. I love all that swag. It's fun. Right?
Yeah,
you guys have done Kickstarters. You got the swag, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think like here's the problem though. Like I've got all this dope ass swag. Like I got this coin here. I don't know what the hell this is from. I got this coin here, right? I mean, hold on a second. Let's see if I figure it out.
Nobody else got this stuff.
I stood up. This is what I literally did. I stood up. Now I am surrounded by comics and comic-related memorabilia in this room. But I stood up and I was like, I'm going to show them what I'm talking about. And instantly, within arm's reach, there was a coin. This is for the Wacamo hardcover that came out a while back from what was this, Gravity Press. It's a beautiful book. It's a European publisher.
It's nice.
It's a beautiful book.
Yeah, it looks nice.
Very, very nice. Great art. But it came with that, and it came with like a bookmark, which I guess the bookmark was okay, but this has a ribbon. Like I'm not using your bookmark on another book. I have bags and bags of this shit sitting around the house. I don't know what the fuck to do with it all, man.
Give it away.
Listen, that's kind of, we feel the same way. That swag is great. Like if you're at a Comic-Con, but like I feel like if you get that stuff from a Kickstarter, it's gonna go in the garbage. Like
give out some variants.
We kept
seeing,
ours
like different variants.
We're throwing in 2 stickers and a bookmark. Like that's it. And the campaign is about the book in general. So like we want this book to be the best it could possibly be. So our stretch goal is going to be a hardcover because that's what we wanted in the first place. But we kept it at a soft cover to keep the goal modest, like to keep it low because it is our first campaign. So
that's a good plan.
You just want to make the goal should be making the book as good as it can be. That's it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Plus, if you make it a hardcover book, it kind of falls right into that whole RPG. You were saying you were looking at the old D&D books.
Yeah.
All those old school D&D books, man. Now, obviously not the first gen, because I think those were paper covers. Those ones I literally look at, they came off like a mimeograph machine.
Yes.
The copies I saw probably did.
Yeah, probably.
But those early hardcovers, man, when D&D was first really taken off, it looks great. The cover design's great. So it'll look really sharp in a hardcover. Another thing I really like, and a lot of people are probably going to say, "What does that matter for?" This down here, where you do the rewards, whoever did the graphic design for this, just chef's kiss, man. Chef's kiss. Here's the thing. It might sound funny. It might sound funny, but
you're a genius.
I've backed I went and looked at the other day, and I think had underestimated. I think I've backed 85 Kickstarters in the last since the first Deadbeats. So was that 2 years ago?
Oh wow!
Oh, I thought you meant like last week.
Oh, shout out Deadbeats, by the way.
Right, shout out Deadbeats. They're what I found is you can really tell the difference between the effort that the team's putting into it by how the Kickstarter page goes. Maybe not the effort they're putting into the book, but the effort they're putting into the Kickstarter. And that makes a difference to people. When they're going through, there's a lot of great projects, you know. And as I'm going through, like I go through every Tuesday, and I heart everyone I like, and then I go back and I look through them to see which ones I can back, because I just can't back everything. You know, you just can't. There's too much. But this looks great, and it's a decent $20 for if we get a hardcover book. That's a fantastic price.
Yeah, definitely. And that's that's the thing. Matt and I we've been working on this for about a year now, and we decided early on we're not taking a page rate. We're anything that we get that's even remotely considered profit, we're either going to put right back into this book to make it better. Maybe it's a special something tucked in that we're not listing, a little added something, whatever, or it's going right into volume 2 so we can make sure that if there is a volume 2, spoiler, and so that we can keep any kind of production costs down and keep that campaign humble too,
Yeah. No,
Actually, just to answer the question that I did have a little earlier about whether or not this was going to be a one issue or if you planned on continuing the anthology. Now, what exactly led you to make this into an anthology instead of more like a streamlined storyline?
We say it's a tribute to an anthology. It's not exactly an anthology. It does follow the one character, and it is kind of, while all the separate stories can stand on their own, they do connect. Like, it's just him going on one long journey and, encountering these different situations on this journey.
But I like that style, though. That's a pretty...
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's been a lot of fun to write, honestly, because we wrote it in segments, right? So I would write, like, the first... 5 pages is the intro, and then we write the first story, and then go from there. Like, it wasn't like I had to write the entire book and then pass it along to Pete. I wrote it in segments, and he drew it in segments. So it's been again, like, kind of fun to watch the evolution of Pete's style, and to watch these individual stories come to life. But yeah, there's we've been talking since we wrapped the book. We've been talking about what a second volume would and should look like. It'll probably follow the same sort of format, with him, playing a set in the bar and then the different stories. But I think we're going to lean into one genre of stories this time around, where this book is kind of all over the road. We're talking about leaning into just horror stories and playing around with like fantasy horror and what that might look like.
Nice. So I'm going to show up here just real quick. I'm going to bring up some of the book. And let me see if I can share the screen and have that ready. And here it is. So here is the cover to the book that you're seeing on the right-hand side right now. And I'll let Comics on the Mind back in. So that was that page we were just looking at a minute earlier with that nice big shot of that Kirby-esque Thundar-looking character.
I know.
Now, I'm loving the way that a lot of these panels are looking here. And throughout the book, you are not going to get bored looking at any of these panels. I mean, this is the first page of the book. Flip open to page 1.
KO.
So really quick, I just want to touch on this. A couple of different things. One, I wanted to start this book on a splash page because I miss like old 90s comics used to always start with a splash page. And two, I think it's hilarious that our main character gets punched in the face right on page 1. Like, just so you know what you're dealing with this guy. Like,
this is our main character.
Exactly. Like, this is how uncool this guy is. He gets punched right in the beginning of his own book. So yeah, it was just a fun way to start the story. Literally starting the story with a bang. And yeah, that actually, you're looking at the old version of that page. Pete, like he mentioned before, he has gone back and actually remastered those pages, so that page looks even better in the actual finished copy of the book.
There it is again. This is the last time you'll be seeing this version of this panel before you see the finished version, which
4K
What are we going to be seeing? Teeth falling out, blood? Is it going to be worse than Berserker, that first issue with a jaw?
Ooh, no.
No, it's not that bad.
Don't do
Like
that.
punching holes through people's heads.
They just
Not
call that
that
about
bad.
Barbarian Kiss, right? Like that's what that scene is called, Barbarian Kiss. That's great. Very face is very emotive there. So well done.
I can recommend that to my friends, some of my family. I look at Berserker and go, I can only recommend this to other comic book nerds that are over the age of 18.
Yeah, exactly. Our book's pretty accessible. Like I think there's like one swear in it. There's virtually no blood. There's a little splash of red here or there, but it's incredibly tame. That's not to say it's without action, though. There is plenty of action, and some nice surprises. It's about as all ages as you can get, with being more geared toward, I think, like, witty teenagers and up. So might not be good for 5-year-olds.
That's us.
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, we're in our 30s and 40s, but it's kind of like when even they're putting out this Marvel Origins for children, but at the same time, it's, hey, look, a new comic book geared to middle-aged men.
Yeah.
Unique.
Rub it
Unique
in.
to the marketplace.
Hey, that's me. So, guys, I want to wrap it up here. Now, where can people find you on the internet, whether it's Twitter, whether it's Facebook? I have some of the social medias right here for Twitter, but I'm not quite sure about the IG. So we got here writer Matt Man Begins, Pete Collins, artist Pack Illustrations. Now, is that both Twitter and Instagram?
Yeah, that is both Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook for me.
Awesome. And people can order
me,
at both
it's-
the...
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Matt.
Oh, I said that's for me. It's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Pinterest, YouTube, Snapchat, Reddit, Tumblr, TikTok, Google+, Flickr, MySpace, Friendster, AOL Instant Messenger, and Match.com. You can
Did you
find me
just
at
say
Matt Man Begins.
Friendster?
Give this man the Oscar.
Wow.
Woo! Okay.
Oh, God.
And any upcoming appearances that you're going to be having through the rest of the year? I know that you're not going to be doing the New York Comic Con this weekend, but anything that you're looking forward to, well, throughout the rest of the year?
Stalking people's dreams, I guess, is probably about it. So,
And
no,
hitting that
Oh,
goal.
good.
Well played, Pete. Well played.
that's what I do.
I'm in your dreams.
Yeah,
Matt,
nothing
any place?
for me. No, I think we're going to take the rest of the year off next year. Like, once the book is out, which we're aiming for the end of the year anyway. Once the book is out, then we're going to start going to local shows. We'll probably be at New York next year. It just, the timing was all wrong because the campaign is going on during New York Comic Con, so it just wouldn't be the best use of our time.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Just get the book out there, get it into people's hands, and then bring them back for some more.
That's it. It's the gateway hardcover. That's what we're going for.
Yeah, and just looking at the background that we have behind me here, as much as we were talking about swag, do we see much swag aside from those dolls that were each and every one given to me? No, it's all the comics. It's all about the comics. We love the comics, but those hardcover, oh man, a beautiful hardcover is hard to beat. So we're going to try and shoot for that. Matt Sumo, Pete Collins, thank you so much for coming out to Not Near Mint tonight.
Thank you, guys.
If you ever
Thanks
need to come
all of
back to get the word out, we are more than happy to have you back. Thank you both so much.
Thank you, guys. Really appreciate it.
Take
Yeah,
care.
no problem.
Thank
Have a
you
great
so
night,
much.
guys.
Take care. We're going to start
Peace.
showing some comics now. And tonight we have a very special episode of, well, you might have noticed if you've been paying attention to our Not Near Mint channel, which it's okay. I don't even pay attention that much myself. But we did wind up making a short, since YouTube seems to like the shorts thing now. So I did a short, and well, it's just going to lead right on into, well, we're just going to call this. So what exactly is the problem? Tell Dr. Worst. It's Swole Black Cat. I see her in my dreams. It is okay. Swole Black Cat cannot hurt you. But what if I want her to hurt me? What? What? That's it. I'm a book therapy. If you haven't watched the short, it's 28 seconds. Click on it and give us a like or give it a sit down vote. I don't care because of you as a view. Now, did anybody pick up comics this week?
What is comic?
I don't know. It is thing that costs money, lots of money, depending on comic.
I spent money.
Yeah.
I think the absolutely fantabulous, fantastical, amazing, incredible Lady Fantastic should lead us off this evening, as we have not seen her beautiful visage in far, far too long.
I need to hear her sweet, sweet voice. That
Let's see them
woman by the name
25-cent box.
Hey, lady!
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 Okay.
Lady Fantastic.
I love it. I fucking love it.
Hey. Yeah, so I'm back, and I'm going to show you some books. This is a stack of books that I got today. They were from 50-cent bins, new releases, or $1 bins. And this one, with the exception of this, I found Adventure into Fear number 21.
Nice. Did you open it up?
Did I open it up?
Just to check. It might
there a Marvel
have
stamp?
Well, that as well as the possibility that it could have a Mark Jeweler.
Doubt that.
Mark Jeweler.
But I'll open it later.
Top though, right?
Yes.
Does
it have it? I don't know. I'll let you know. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So picked
Perfectly.
up this. When I left, I only had 1 through 14 in the annual, so I picked up the 15, which I'm glad I got, and then I picked up 16, the Peach Momoko variant of Beta Ray Bill, which I liked that variant. And then Champions 10 came out today. I had through 8, so I still need to get number 9. And then what's that called? What's that play? Half Price Books. They had Champions number 6, and I was like, all right, I'm grabbing it.
Champions.
I don't think many of them were printed, and number 7. So yeah. And then these were 50-cent / $1 books, the rest of them.
Let's see. Always good stuff from Lady Fantastic.
Ghost Rider 32.
Pretty.
I love that cover.
Yes.
Wow.
So just a great issue, and radical cover. Reminds me of that Hobgoblin 238 or whatever it is, ASM.
I'm not gonna lie,
yeah.
that may or may not be a sexual fantasy of mine.
Oh, nice.
But it'd be ripped in half. I guess in a way.
It's 2 dudes in one man god.
Right.
Someone's gonna be ripped.
It's 2 dudes in one.
3 dudes. 464 did not have. Yeah.
Nice.
I don't think I have that one.
And 465.
Ooh, I
Little
love
Super Scroll.
Yeah.
He is awesome.
Is that Infinity Crusade crossover?
Yes.
Seems like
Nice.
it.
Right on.
Yes.
There were like about, I don't know, 5,000 Infinity Crusade crossovers. They were really milking it. They were really milking it.
$1.
Ooh.
Dope.
I'm still on the fence because I don't know if I want to collect that whole series or if I just want certain covers.
And I got this because it's just
Also dope.
If it was 5 years ago, you could have gotten it cheap. Not anymore.
I know.
and
It's
these
amazing.
were. I picked these up for G-Man, Robert the G-Man Galvin.
Ooh, nice.
Fanfare 2, another title that all of a sudden now is starting to get grabbed up.
I'm glad I got that first issue. I
These were in
can
the
afford that
41
at least.
Nice.
Ooh, I love Cloak and Dagger.
Yeah, that Marvel Age was the Chaykin cover, the Nick Fury.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's Chaykin's.
Yeah. It's
Did
Jake.
anybody watch that Cloak and Dagger TV show that came out? Is it worth the watch?
It's a wraparound. This one too, this Cloak and
Is it?
Dagger one is a wraparound.
Oh yeah, they all are. I
Nice.
think.
Yeah.
And the
No, that
TV
issue
show.
one is for sure.
You're right.
Oh, okay.
The 25th anniversary shows the back of the character's head.
Yeah.
Ooh. This is just like reprints of some of the
That
old
art is
school or whatever,
awesome.
but I love that cover.
Is that Hermes Press? Who's the
I don't know.
publisher? Three Rivers. ThreeRiverComics.com. Is that what that said?
Three Rivers.
Well, it's a
Comic
reprint
Con.
of. It's a reprint, so that's
It says
probably who
HP.
reprinted it.
Huh.
Press. It says HP. This one
Yeah, it's Hermes Press. It'll be Hermes Press then.
cracked
Okay.
me up.
Yeah.
Mother Teresa.
I've seen that before.
That's a great cover. Mother
Salvation
Teresa.
He was a piece of shit.
Listen, I'm not a very holy person, but even I respect Mother Teresa. Like, how do you know?
No, she
Are
was
you
an asshole.
serious?
I mean, a lot of people have like
Terrible
dark
person.
backseat.
Oh,
Like,
she was awful to the way
Yeah.
that
Nah,
she treated the
Jimmy Gandhi
people
has, like,
she's
in
Mother
her
Teresa.
own
Man.
convent.
But gaslighting
Nah.
me. No, she was.
Was she really bad?
Yeah, she
Wow.
supported genocide. So
Really? Oh, shit.
yeah.
All right.
Spot,
Well,
spot,
then
spot.
my world
now
is
I've lost
shattered.
that one
Oh
too.
yes, give it to me. Give it to me
I
now.
got this one for Spock.
I
So
love.
collection.
I'm almost done with that series. Sorry.
And Spock, let me know. Steve and Spock, let me know if you need this one, because if you don't, I'll gift it to Kirk. And then also this one. I think they already had that one.
That's a nice cover.
Even
Yeah, it
Spock.
Is that the
Let's
same
go.
artist? Was the guy just like, let me use the same
No.
art. We'll just move it slightly.
No, shut up.
We're just gonna recenter it.
Just crop it.
We'll just crop it different.
I heard
Put them
Give
up
him a
next to each
hat.
other.
Put a hat.
Put them up
That's
next to each
cigar.
other.
Oh,
Let me
that's
see them both.
And
Change
then
the cigarette to a cigar.
Spockman, Marvel Tales 258. You see all the reflections in the shattered mirror.
That's pretty cool.
So there you go.
It's
You
not
little-
just one reflection; it's all of them.
You little brat. And then I found this too. Doom
Ah.
Patrol.
Oh, nice.
And it's got the sticker intact still.
Yeah, I was gonna buy another one today so I could peel the sticker off, but I didn't.
Burrito. Anyways, those were. Oh wait, just a couple more things. Also, a couple more things. Also, I have to share this. This Cherry Blackbird #1. This is on VHS 1 of 10, and I picked up #2 the other day, and then today issue #3. The Cherry Blackbird, track 3. You gusta cocaine, so yeah.
That book is fucking wild.
It's
I haven't read
hilarious.
it.
Yeah.
It is hilarious. All right,
Wow.
dudes. I'm cool.
That's
cool.
terrible, Ace.
I'm cool. That's
Are you
my.
done?
You are
Steve?
correct.
Yeah, I'm done.
You are very cool.
Hashtag Lady Fantastic is fantastic. And she's sleeping. It's 10:48. Fair enough.
That's Miracle Man for you.
He's a pedantic, pontificating, pretentious bastard, a belligerent old fart, a worthless, steaming pile of cow dung.
And we'll let Lady Fantastic take it from there.
Oh, I love
Exactly.
that movie.
My sentiments exactly. Now make it go to fucking Miracle Man so I can heckle him and give him a hard time.
Oh yeah, I've been
So-
looking forward to this.
I know Miracle Man got some books. Did you get books today, Miracle Man? And if it's yes, how do your Marvels look today?
So we got Marvels. Our shipment was fine. I did not pick up all my books because I went to a sale on Sunday and I might have gone a little crazy.
A little.
A little crazy.
Just a
I got some
tad
good
bit.
stuff though. First off,
Miracle.
So the fun of Miracle Man. What Alan Moore did that was so brilliant, Michael Moran has grown up. And he's in his 40s, he's overweight, he's sad. There's something that he can't remember.
Take it away.
There's a lot of things I can't remember. So I went to a sale, like I said, it was a half price sale, and it was everything from $5 and under, including the 50-cent bins. So we got ourselves a nice pile of about 20 Y The Last Man's here.
Ooh.
Number 19.
Excuse me?
There's number 20.
Nice.
There's 22. I need like 7 more issues now. Maybe it's more like 12. 23, 24, 25 cents a piece. 36.
I still need to buy that trade.
4.
I refuse to watch the show until I read it.
Dude, you got to read it.
I know.
I mean,
it's not on my list.
I'm going to say right now, I'm not a huge fan of these covers. I don't dislike them. But like looking at these covers don't do a ton for me. There's some good ones.
That's pretty good.
This one in particular I really like. That's issue 50.
Oh yeah, that's a nice one.
That's
Very
pretty
symbolic.
nice. Hey Ace, how old is Miracle Man?
Ace isn't here.
Oh, well.
Hella.
Most planets, Michael. You son of a gun. Most planets. You know, there is one thing about these Why the Last Man's. Not only are they, they're going to get a little bit harder, but there's a lot of previews for other books here. DMZ is optioned. The show is shot. They changed the gender of the star character, the protagonist, which I'm tickled as fucking pink about that. There's so many angry chuds who never read the fucking book. But you got a lot of previews in there. So you're going to see a lot of these books are going to spike because of the previews that are in them. There's a scalped preview and an issue of Fables that's a little tougher to come by.
Oh, wow.
Why the Last Man has the first DMZ. So there's a couple of different ones. Next up, I got a nice chunk of this really weird DC series from '93. It's called Scarlet.
Dang.
It's a vampire book. Yep. Vampire book.
Jesus.
I'm pretty sure this was, I don't know if this was creator owned or what, but it ran like 16 or 17 issues, something like that.
Cover.
There's a bunch of the covers are really cool. The story is weird, dude. For a DC comic of the time, it's a very peculiar story.
Yeah,
that's the closest. That's the closest you get to superheroes. But check that out. Look at that cover.
Oh yeah, that looks like very Wolverine-esque.
That one right there, dude's just ganking fucking zombies or vampires. And then I got these. I've been trying to finish this series. Once upon a time, Innovation was number 3 on top publishers. Innovation. Innovation.
Lost in Space. Based on the TV show?
Based on the original TV show and written by... The majority of it is written by the guy who played the kid, Will Robinson.
Oh, wow.
Huh.
A couple of issues are written. This one's written by Major West, the original actor. Now, here's the thing. These here are pretty tame. There's issue 8. The guy who was writing them, like I said, he was the son of, he played the son in the TV show. And there's an awful lot of covers like this, but with more clothes ripped off of the female characters. He's a giant tentacle monster wrapping his mom up.
Well, they had to sell books.
Interesting.
And I'm telling you, these are the tame covers. I already had some of the more risque ones where their clothes are really kind of shredded off of them. It only ran 17 issues. The covers are great. This is Mike Deodato doing the side characters. That's me, Mike Deodato Jr.
And it looks like they used paint over it.
Yeah. It's really nice. It's really the covers are really well done. The comics are they're okay. They're innovation level. That means they're not great.
They're not known for their story, just for the fact that they own the property rights.
Right. Next up, the sequel to Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. We have Restaurant at the End of the Universe. DC did a prestige format
What?
series of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
I did not know there was a sequel.
Yeah. Oh, dude, there's like 7 books.
No. Oh, I gotta go back.
So they did Hitchhiker's Guide. Hitchhiker's Guide sold really well. Then they did Restaurant at the End of the Universe, the sequel. This did not sell as well. Primarily because the story is a lot more ridiculous. But secondly, because everybody knows hitchhikers. Non-nerds know hitchhikers. Only the real good fucking nerds know Restaurant at the End of the Universe. And
But only the best nerds and the hottest nerds know So Long, Thanks for All the Fish, and Another Thing.
True that. Another place. So I went to another place here, actually. A little segue here before we get into the rest of the haul.
Is it a thrift store?
This was not a thrift store. This is a comic shop. This guy has been in the business since early 70s. He's got a huge stockpile in the back of his office of his shop of comics. And if you know him, you talk to him, he starts to let you go and get stuff out of the back stock.
Dang. Gotta build that relationship.
I'll build that relationship, baby. Make sure your LCS owner knows your name. Here we
they know
have
my name.
Spoof Comics Presents, issue number 6 with the X-Babes.
Oh.
This is an Adam Hughes cover. Yep. Now, it was the only Adam Hughes cover. He did like 6 for Spoof Comics Presents, but this was the only Adam Hughes ones they had. However, I had to grab some of the others. There's Wet Shirts, which is, a take on Wetworks. Here we have the Excalibabes.
Hey, real quick on that Wetworks that's not Wetworks, were there actually more of the parody than the actual book itself?
I haven't read it yet, but I don't know if it could be more of a parody than the actual book. And if you haven't picked up what Spoof Comics did, Spoof Comics took superheroes and made them girls. That was the whole shtick. And then they found reasons to get their clothes ripped off during battles. Last but not least from the Spoof run, Spoof Comics Presents, this was a special Spoon one-shot. Instead of Spawn, you get Spoon. And yes,
what?
Those are undead boobies there.
What is going on?
Yeah, the guy who made these makes comics today. He was the publisher. He's also part of that hate group, so I won't say who he is.
Oh, just some person. We don't know.
Just some guy. Next up, out of the same shop, guys, Spider-Woman number 2.
No way.
And Spider-Woman number 3.
Sweet. Is that Hordak?
That's a great cover.
What's that?
Is that Hordak?
No, that's the Brother Grimm.
Oh, so that's the character that they based Hordak on.
Basically.
Probably.
Now, here's the gem from this shop. This was the reason I asked for this box. I got the other books just because they were in there. But I saw he had this listed that he had, and I had to see if he did. This is Splatter number 1.
Yes.
North Star Publishing. You got it?
Yeah, I had the one with the gold splatter, though. Is that?
Oh,
does that have
yes.
that?
No, this is the non-gold foil version. Guys, this is a Tim Vigil book.
That's why I got it.
All right. If you're not familiar with Tim Vigil, me and Rob both love him. He did Faust, which is probably the book that you would recognize immediately. And I'll tell you what, he does some crazy visceral artwork, very heavy black and white stuff. I don't know if I'm sure Tim Vigil's done color work because I'm holding one in my hand, but I think he primarily does black and white. Next, I don't know if you guys remember this, but when it came out, it made a big splash. This is 4 Kids Walking to a Bank number 1. That's the first printing.
Never heard of that one.
Yeah, that was huge on Comic Tom's show about a year or 2 ago.
Yep. Everybody was looking for it at one point. Yep.
Why?
A Black Mask book that had multiple printings of the first issue.
Okay, that makes sense.
A lot of buzz. Captain Gravity number 3. This is a funky little like pulp era style hero fights Nazis. Gotta love him. Wild Girl number 1. This is Leah Moore, Alan's daughter, and John Reppion, her husband, as well as J.H. Williams III and Sean McManus. Here we have Son of Ambush Bug number 1. Because how do you pass that up? Another one here, Freshman number 1. This is the Joseph Michael Linsner variant cover. This book was great. It was co-created by Seth Green. That was vicious. And it's basically about the next generation of superheroes. They go to a school to learn. It's a pretty fun story. They did a couple of volumes of it. It's a little funky, but it's top cow. Great art, good story. I enjoyed it. I'm almost done with all. I think actually that was the last issue I needed. This is Commandy number 55. This is post Jack Kirby. And listen, I'm going to tell you, Commandy only really works with Jack Kirby.
Yeah. It was a little weird in the new 52 storyline 52 where it's, oh no, he's from Command D. I'm like, awesome. When I first read it, when it was Jack Kirby.
Right. Yeah, not good. Not good later. But I only need 2 more issues now and I'm done. Done with the whole run. Zero Tolerance, number 1. This is from First Publishing. This is also a Tim Vigil book.
I don't have that.
Nice. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, that's a tough one. It's First Publishing because, Here we go. Just imagine Stan Lee's Shazam.
No.
Yes, Legato, it's worth it. It's absolutely worth it. Commandy's one of the best.
Kirby, yes.
Best series of all time. The Just Imagine Stan Lee, they're not great stories. Here we have a book that I bet everybody here is going to go, why in the hell did Miracle Man buy this book? The Puma Blues. This book came out in 1988, and it has a story in it written by Alan Moore and drawn by Steve Bissette.
What?
Yes, indeedly do. Yes, indeedly do. Now we're going to get into the really good stuff, guys. This was a quarter, by the way.
The meat
And
and potatoes?
I promise you will never find this book in a cheap bin. I got that one for a quarter. You won't find it there normally, but I did. It was like a 1 in a million chance. All right, so we're going to get into some silver, a little bit of bronze, mostly Silver Age stuff here.
Let me see
mostly
that.
Silver Age stuff. Whole bunch of Archie superheroes. Mighty Comics presents number 40. I love the Archie superheroes. They're all fucking weird, man. But look at this trade dress on this book. Look how serious they are. This guy's got a fucking like cannonball on his hand, both hands. How does he eat? How does he poop?
Maybe he can switch hands?
With his balls and dick.
Ba-dum. How does he manually, how does he jerk off? How does this man
with
flog
someone
the
else?
hog?
With my mouth.
Jesus Christ. Here's issue 41. That's got to be an intro. You got to cut that for an intro. Here we got Mighty Comics Presents number 41. This is the Shield.
I'm going to cry.
And that's the black hood right down there. For those of you who don't know, the Shield was created by Joe Simon before Captain America. Mighty Comics Presents number 48, Shield and the Hangman. And if you can't tell, most of their heroes, Hangman.
Oh.
He's the guy in green and purple there. If you can't tell, most of their superheroes, that's the black hood in yellow and purple. Very generic looking back in the day.
Hey, Legato, we called Mother Teresa evil. Yeah, it's far past off the rails.
Last Archie book here we have Mighty Comics Presents number 43, The Shield and the Web. The Web was a superhero back in the 60s. He had a wife, and he was a henpecked superhero, is how they described him. Henpecked. Which means basically he would go to put on his superhero clothes, his wife would get mad and like throw a fucking frying pan at his head in one scene. It's fucking weird. I'll tell you what. If you find any though, if you like campy superhero shit, it's pretty. Jesus Christ, debate me. God damn.
Let's just say this: it's a campier than Venom 2.
It is. It makes Batman 66 look not campy. Now we got some gold key here, guys. This is Dagar the Invincible, number 3.
That's a great
One of the gold key heroes you probably don't know. Not that you know most of them, but you definitely don't know Dagar. Number 8. This is a sword and sorcery book. It's okay. The gold key isn't great stuff. I'm just gonna say I collect it, but it's
for
not
the covers, basically.
That's it.
So, yeah.
Yeah. The rest is no reason to even open the book. But I got them. I got them for $1.50 a piece. How do you pass them up?
I try to at least skim through them. Some of them stories don't
They're rough. They're rough. This Dr. Solar number 21.
Miracle Man with the Solar Man of the Atom. I keep seeing the first appearance of not Dr. Solar where he's not in the outfit, but the one where he is in the outfit. And you can get that in like 4 or 5 point condition for like $20.
It's not bad. It's relatively inexpensive. I got to get it myself. I still need the first issue.
It's a big character.
Yeah. Dr. Solar's been going on for years. He was one of the main original Valiant characters. You know, they brought him back. Dynamite got their hands on him. They did stuff with him, but, you know, typical Dynamite fashion, they kind of flubbed it after a while. But, you know, here's Dr. Solar number 27, I think. No. I don't know what the hell issue this is.
It's not like they quite clearly put the issue number on the cover.
They didn't. They did this weird 10000 set dash 710 October. The fuck does that mean, guys?
If you weren't a boomer, you would know the song "My Pony."
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the 1000.
I thought you were talking about the thing that pops up. I'm sorry.
No, I know what that is.
I wasn't paying attention to you.
I am a boomer, but I did know that.
That's a nice
Flash Gordon number 2. This is King Comics.
Giant Iguana Man.
King Feature Syndicates owns Flash Gordon.
Huh.
They did their own comics back in the 60s, but after a while they gave up. After about issue 12, it went over to Charlton Comics. Here's issue number 14 at Charlton.
Okay. That hair, though.
And then after they did about 10 more issues there, and at issue 24, it went to Gold Key. So it had 3 different publishers with the same numbering.
Of the same continuing story, or
same continuing story.
Dang, that's crazy.
And the last couple issues from Gold Key, and I think they were actually published by the reprint division, Whitman, even though they were the originals, were just the Flash Gordon movie from the 70s. Now, reaching way back into the long, long ago,
let's ride.
I bring you a Dell superhero.
Nuclear.
I thought you meant Adele, like the singer
I did
Adele.
too. I was like, she has a comic?
Hold on.
Look forward to Adele's new album coming out October 15th.
Get it out of your system.
Minds think alike.
Get it out of your system. So Dell was during the Silver Age, Dell, until Marvel really started to take off, Dell was actually your top publisher of comics.
Yeah.
Very early Silver, very late Golden. Dell was your top publisher of comics. They had all the licenses. They did all the Westerns. They had Lone Ranger. Dell was a powerhouse.
Marvel, it was a glut of publishing. Just so much shit. A lot of it actually shit.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Right. But they had like all the Hanna-Barbera characters. They did all the Disney. They had everything. Because they own the presses. Here we have Charlton Comics E-Man number 2.
I think I got one E-Man.
E-Man was created by Joe Staton, and he actually still owns this character. When Charlton sold their characters out to DC, they did not sell E-Man because they didn't own him. He was licensed. Joe Staton currently is putting out new E-Man stories under the banner of the Charlton Bullseye. He gets together with a bunch of older Charlton creators. They make characters. They put out a book. They have one, I think he's called the Impossible Man or something like that. I don't know. But he's essentially every Steve Ditko creation melded into one character. He looks a little Spider-Man. He looks a little Shade the Changing Man. He looks a little Doctor Strange. And they tell stories. Charlton Bullseye. You can pick them up on Amazon. I think you can get them off of IndiePlanet.com. They're like $8. They're not great, guys. I'm going to tell you right now, they're not great. Okay? But there's some fun stuff in there. And it's kind of cool just to see them, just doing their thing. A couple more books here. Almost done. The Phantom. This is another Charlton book. This is number 42. Just really great shape. Came out. It was really nice. My Only Horror Book, Scary Tales. Another Charlton. Issue 12. I got one more old book, but I'm going to show you the new stuff I picked up this week too, real quick. The Rise, number 1. This is the story by George C. Romero that leads into the original Night of the Living Dead. This is what happened to make the zombies.
Didn't you show this already? Or you show
this
series?
first issue? This is the first issue. I had the second issue.
Third.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
There's my Cherry Blackbird number 3. Here's my Nice House on the Lake number. What is that? 3, 4? I don't know what is that at this point. It's got to be at 4, right?
4 or 5.
5. Issue 5.
I'm
Great
just waiting for
cover.
the trade.
Great
And it's
cover.
coming out regularly.
Yeah. Dose number 1. I showed dose number 3 last week before. I got the first issue. This is a really weird black and white book. Amazing Fantasy number 3. I just picked mine up.
Story's weird, you mean?
Yes. It was an IGG.
Good, or?
But then they published it. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's basically the premise is, what if the Silver Age continued? Silver Age of comics continued in the real world. Here we have the Vault Undressed cover of last book you'll ever read, number 2. Can't show you the bottom.
Yeah,
why not?
Can't show you the bottom.
It's only a vagina.
It is a very smooth vagina. Here we have Undiscovered Country 16. Guy just picked mine up. And last but not least of the new stuff, Night of the Living Dead's Day of the Undead. This is a limited to 250 covers.
They won't stay dead.
Poster version. There we go. Last but not least, the biggest book I bought this week, guys. As soon as I saw it, I had to get it. She only cost me $30. This is Captain Atom 82. This is the first appearance of Nightshade.
Oh, nice.
Probably one of the last affordable first appearances you can buy from Charlton right now is Nightshade. She hasn't been anything in a while, but she was once an integral part of the original John Ostrander Suicide Squad. She was involved in Shadow Pact. It's only a matter of time until she comes back. DC loves her. She's a great female protagonist. That she could be a spy. She could be a superhero. And at some point, they're going to dust her off and bring her back out. The Peacemaker TV show, it's already been leaked that we're going to get Judo Master, another Charlton character. Whether or not we're going to get any other Charlton characters, I don't know. But we do know James Gunn has got a lot of love for comics and comic history, and he pays attention to that stuff. If we're getting Judo Master, it's because of the Charlton connection. Who knows who else we might get? You can still pick these books up between $30 and $40 for a decent grade. And I highly recommend it. If you have any interest, get it now. Because I'm telling you, real soon, at some point, this book's going to pop. Peacemaker's out of control. Captain Atom's out of control. Blue Beetle's out of control. Flesh's out of control.
First, Judo Master went from being like an $80 book and higher grade to over $1,000 within 20 minutes of it being announced that Judo Master is going to figure into the Suicide Squad spin-off TV series.
Right.
What? Okay.
He can have one scene. The book's already unattainable. So, guys, this is one of the last ones you can get. Maybe the first appearance of Tiger, which is like Judo Master 84, is still attainable. But when it comes to their action heroes, Nightshade's about the last one you can buy, get a decent copy, and not pay an arm and a leg for. So definitely pick it up if you have any interest.
Worth it.
And that's it.
Is it?
I had a lot. I know I had a lot today. I'm sorry.
Look at the face. Did you get any books?
Ace.
Mm-hmm.
So we actually have books from Ace.
What do you need?
Probably a good fuck.
Not from me.
Done with you. They're done with you, Helen Mirren.
So I got Die, number
Nice.
20.
Die, but not die. Just die.
Just Die.
Just die.
Human Reigns, number 1 from Vault. Even though I was supposed to get every cover, I only got one.
What? Burn it all to the ground.
Midnight Western Theater.
Fun book.
Yep. Wonder Woman, black and gold. Porcelain.
You didn't get the 80th anniversary? Wonder Woman?
No, I didn't go today. That's my stuff from last week.
Oh. I have a super special cover coming from a store variant that I can't wait to show. Yeah, I should have it next week. Probably not by the show, so I'll probably show it the week after that.
Yeah, so hopefully next week, or perhaps even over the weekend, you'll get a chance to go to the shop, pick up a few books. Hopefully nothing from Marvel, but yeah, I keep forgetting you don't give a shit about Kate, so you're good. Comics on the Line, did you get anything in the mail? Because I know that you weren't able to hit the shop today. Which, on a good note, maybe you can get the well-printed, undamaged Marvels?
I'm hoping so. Usually I don't have that problem with my shop, so I'm gonna go pick them up tomorrow. So
it's not really a problem with the shop. It seems that it's everywhere. Almost everybody that received, not from Diamond, because Diamond doesn't get it from Marvel anymore. Now it's all Penguin. Penguin's first shipping, you have boxes across the country that can't be found, where they're saying, yeah, you might get it, you might not, and who knows if we can get you a re-release once we either find it or not find it, have to give you a new printing. It's just a fucking chaotic mess with Marvel right now. And actually, real quick, Marvel, we need to talk. Most of your product came damaged today. I had a person at my own shop today say that he's not going to be bothering with FOC anymore. He said, I'm sorry, here's the money that I owe you for the books that came out this week, but I can't keep doing this if Marvel's going to be doing this. I pick up 30 titles every week, and this guy picks up more than I do. And if you just lost that man, and he had that much of a problem today, where he says, which he could just be talking, I'm done. I'm out. No more new stuff. I just want to get the old stuff. This is how you're going to lose people. Destroyed product. So correct it quick, or you're going to be losing people. This is a PSA from Rap Worst.
Real talk.
So do you get anything in the mail? Anything at all? Mind shift. I want to play your banner. I want to play your banner so bad.
Just play my banner. Just play it for me.
I will play it just for you, my man.
Now, I'd like you to think of something specific of your organization, and that you will not object to having disclosed.
Yes, I have something. Do I have to close my eyes?
It doesn't matter.
All right, yes, I have something.
These are comic books, and they're soaked. Soaked. Look, man, this is all soaking wet. That makes them worth nothing. Shitola.
They dry by cells.
You don't. I'm with you. I collect comic books. You don't dry them out. They're done.
You're gonna kill Spider-Man, Plutonium, Scotland.
Let me see that.
Oh my god!
I have to play that. It was just so cool making that, and maybe I'll retire it eventually.
Where did you get that clip from of that dude trying to sell that comic book collection? That's just from randomly online?
So yeah, I went to try and find, and this was all based off the fact that I remember right before the pandemic, I used to go to this comic show out here at the Miccosukee Indian Reservation in Casino. And there was this guy that had just how you'd see behind me, like a big easel full of comics. And he even had like an 8.5 Hulk 181 CGC. And because it was leaning up against a wall that was a divider that divided the room between other rooms, well, somebody from the other side that was doing something else from another party wound up moving the wall. And you just saw, because it was about 30 feet away, and I'm over here looking through books, and I just hear, oh my God, as you see this thing fall forward. Thousands upon thousands of dollars worth of books. He wasn't even at his booth, the guy that was running it. When he came back, I don't know if someone was watching it for him, but he wasn't watching very well. He comes back in and goes, holy fucking shit! Even louder than Homer Simpson, where he screams the word fuck so loud that even
it was just like they blamped. Great episode.
I was trying to find something similar to that, and the best thing I could come up with Destroyed Comics was this poor guy that was in the middle of moving, and his mover wound up doing a piss poor job of moving, and just got all the comics in those boxes soaked through. It's about a 15-minute video. I grabbed the best like 20, 30 seconds of it and edited it to you.
It's so good. Shit makes me laugh every time, dude.
It was one of my favorite things to edit. Now I need to come up with little shorter ones for everybody.
What's up, Chris?
Else. And Ace, I actually saw Ghostbusters 1 and 2 in the theaters because I am also old.
Only reason I saw the first one in theaters is because they did one of those like showing old movies out here.
Now, I would love to see it again in a drive-through, but it's not exactly like Groundhog's Day where anytime it comes on TV, I have to drop everything I'm doing and go, okay, I'm watching.
Some movies are like when the Harry Potter movies, all of them show on ABC. I watch all of them when I had cable. I always watch them on ABC because it was like I had to.
Just want to let you know, saying you saw Ghostbusters in the theater because they had a night where they showed old movies is violence. I just want to let you know that counts as violence.
I'm sorry
that you have perpetrated on me.
I just remember thinking that an old movie would be any movie that had an R rating because it had one time that somebody used the word shit because the NPAA back in the day was just that restrictive. And it got lessened over time. We can thank Stanley Kubrick for that.
Kubrick. Hey, Worst, when you're done, I remembered I had one more book to show.
One more? You want to show it now or should I show my crap? Because it really feels like crap with the fucking damaged book.
I'll show it because it'll be really fast. But I do have a quick little story with it.
Ooh.
This is not
different
a comic.
cover.
It's not a comic.
Oh.
This is Just the Tips with Cherry. It is From Asking to Ass Licking to Aftercare, a communication-based how-to have sex book. With illustrations from Cherry Comics by Larry Wells.
You got this where?
Amazon.
They sold this on Amazon?
They sell this on Amazon. I can't show you.
Dang.
I don't think I can
better.
I don't think I can show you the interior.
They're just like a money machine.
It's literally
Buy
so I can
stuff.
show you this. So it's literally a like how to have sex guide. And if this is from Cherry, this is Cherry number 12, page 2. So they actually take the panels right out of it. And
so did they expect like people that don't have a lot of experience in the field of sex to buy this book for that reason, or is it just for fans?
For me, see, here's the thing. So it's very few illustrations. It's about 24, 30 illustrations. So it's not a lot.
Okay.
Right, Chris?
Yeah, Sheena.
Right?
That was my first full nude movie, and it was only PG with Tanya Roberts.
Right.
Mine was Halloween 2, or some of my first set of boobs.
Yeah, so this Cherry book, this is really only there for the completist. This isn't a comic. I only got it because I'm a big fan of Larry Wells' Cherry book. And that's it. There is, if you're a comic fan, unless you're a Cherry fan, there ain't no reason to buy this. But it's only $7, and I figure it's going to go out of print eventually. Might as well get it while I can, right?
Well, yeah, you're a fan, so that makes sense. So.
Right. Yeah, and it even, I mean, this is literally the second to last issue of the original
Looks like
Cherry.
There's like some Jesus guy that she's like hooking up with.
Well, this book started back when hippies were still a thing, man.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So the aesthetic has remained all along.
My
mom was born after the hippies died out.
My mom grew up in. My mom was 62. She's born in 62.
We get it. You're young, okay? I don't think you have to tell us anymore how young you are.
Yes, I do.
Okay then. Somebody's just trying to hurt me. Cherry, I think the first issue of Cherry came out in like 1982.
I wasn't.
So it's very early 80s. I don't think it tells you how to catch ghosts, unless you're talking about vaginal ghosts.
Vaginal ghosts.
That's it. What do you got, Worst?
Michael Lemond is so wealthy, you will want for nothing. You hear that out there, YouTube land? Michael Lemond is rich. Yeah, none of us are rich if we're collecting comics because it all goes to. Oh yeah.
Feed the addiction.
Oops.
There's a reason we call our comic guys our dealers.
Yeah, it was funny way back a decade ago before comics were as more prevalent as they are today when I would say in front of my boss, yeah, I'm going to go see my dealer after work. And that was back when I was an alcoholic. And he just assumed that I was going to an actual drug dealer.
Dang,
but he would see me every week going to lunch and I'm reading a couple comic books outside. It's like, oh, that's what you meant. I'm like, oh my God, he didn't fire me and he thought I was doing drugs.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that happened.
Yeah. That's a good boss right there.
Yeah, all the way up until I got fired for actual alcoholism. That's why I don't drink. Well, one of many reasons.
Oh, I'll do it.
I came to the understanding that nothing matters, which is okay, because as long as you preserve these comics, because we are just the custodians of history, we're not going to be the last one to own it unless we wind up giving it to Whack, and Whack kind of sets it on fire or whatever he's going to do to it. So,
hey, as long as he gives it my comic book that he destroys Viking death or a Viking like funeral and just like shoots an arrow and lights it on fire, then he can destroy it.
Yeah, put it on a small boat and set it out on a lake.
Boom, there you go.
And hopefully you don't set
out of my other
family on fire. All right, I guess it's time for me to show some books, so here we go.
Nobody exists on purpose. Nobody belongs anywhere. Everybody's gonna die. Come watch TV.
Yep. All right, so here we go. I have 3 stacks, the smallest one being DC Comics because I'm kind of getting sick and tired of everything being fucking miniseries. I said that I wasn't going to be sticking on all the Batman stuff, but I still picked up a Batman today. So let's start with the smallest stack, shall we? Here is Arkham City, The Order of the World. That's Dan Waters, the same writer that's working on Once in the Future. So yeah, I'll pick that up just to see, should I even bother picking up a second issue? Because it feels like there's so much Batman. Every book is a Batman. Every book is a Batman. Here's the Batman. I mean, I like the ghost killer, clown killer, ghost man.
Ghostmaker.
Ghost Hunter. There you go.
No, Ghostmaker.
Ghostmaker. Jeez, you could have really said that, and I would have just nodded and smiled.
Only reason I know is I've been trying to catch up, and him and Harley have a really interesting relationship.
Yeah, that's right. Don't drink at work, kids. That is a good idea. Here is Batman: The Adventure.
I need to use that advice.
Issue number 5. This one was slightly damaged. I don't know why, but it seemed like it was.
Is that the A cover?
Yeah, that is the A cover. I'm trying to get just the A covers. I got the B cover for the last issue just due to the fact that it was a what was it? Gray Ghost from the old Batman the Animated TV show. So yes, please. And I am kind of a Batman junkie because way up there I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 boxes of nothing but Batman.
Do you not have 10 because you can't count to 10?
That's probably accurate.
Yay.
Yay.
Wait, I'm old and Rob's an idiot? I don't understand these units of measurement you're applying.
They're arbitrary, which is fine with me.
I can name like 20 reasons why Rob's an idiot right now.
Right? 1, no chocolate starfish pictures. 2.
He likes someone. That's a mistake.
Right. You should never like anybody.
You gotta hate everybody?
People like people. I just get on the internet because it gives me a little bit of distance between actual people, and I have to go deal with actual people. I just clam up because I'm paid not to say anything.
Well, that'll happen. That'll happen. People pay me not to talk all the time.
The only reason I'm still picking it up. It feels weird not picking up a Batman book within DC, but I bet there's a Batman character in it somewhere.
No.
An advertisement. Nice house on the lake. Cover B.
Great cover on that.
Gorgeous.
Love that. And I'm getting all the B covers on Swamp Thing. This is a fun little story by Ram V. Now, this one was probably my favorite cover of all the DC stuff to come out this week. And
that's a nice cover.
That's a good one.
Even if I never get around to reading it, I am so glad that this is in my collection.
Yeah, I think I might track that one down.
So that was the DC. DC, very minimal. Marvel, a little bit more.
Not
and
so
technically, I put some of the stuff that came out from Epic that I picked up today in the independent pile because it goes with all the other stuff that was produced by Boom Studios. You'll see what I'm talking about in a second. So the first pickup, it's a back issue that I got for a little bit less because, well, when you look at it, you're going to go, well, the binding's all completely off. But when I took it out, it's about an 8.0.
Wow.
But when I looked at him going, this it's all off. It's probably only a 7.0. So it goes, yeah, $40. I kind of want to feel like I should throw another 20 because it feels like I negged it. But in all honesty, yeah, it turned out a lot better than I thought it would be. Now I finally have the newsstand for $298, $299, $300, $301.
Nice.
Oh, I need that Triforce or that Quad Force.
This was a cover that, a good cover. I like it. I'm pretty sure it's Art Adams. I could be wrong. But there was the Gleason cover that was like a throwback to that old ASM 56 where it was the side profile. But it's been done to death, so I'm okay passing it up. Here's another back issue. So glad I finally got this newsstand.
Dang, I need that one. I had the issue after that one where he's fighting Immortus, but I don't have that one.
I don't have the one after that or the one after that, which I'll be looking for it. My shop owner, he's a great guy. His name is John Freshly, and I'll even throw it up here in the banners. He winds up doing a little claim sale.
Miami Fresh
auction
Comics.
Every Thursday around 8:30. He says he tries to start at 7:30, but
on IG, right?
Yeah, but it's all Miami time. And if it's Miami time, don't expect anything to be on time.
Especially from me.
Here's the variant cover of the other Captain Marvel.
Listen, for those of you who've never been to Miami, I've been to Miami, and there's a reasonable reason why they work on their own time. Even in the dead of winter, 88% of the women on the beach are wearing a thong.
Oh, that's true. Especially if you go to South Beach. Now, if you go to Hollywood Beach, which is a completely different story.
I'm out.
So South Beach is for all the beautiful people and the pretend beautiful people that are rich. Now, it's that really leaning sort of thing because you can be beautiful and poor and you can be rich and ugly, but they tend to want to only see the beautiful rich people on the beach. It's mostly poor people that are wearing everything. Just like how all my money goes to comics, most people that are in South Beach, they put all of their money into their clothes, the jewelry, and everything else. You can see they have $150 in the bank account and $2,000 in what they're wearing.
Yeah. Oh.
Not worth the cover price because my copy is so damaged.
That sucks.
It's not that bad.
Yeah, this one's not that bad. But this one is, which is unfortunate because I love this cover, but
it's a good cover.
Not that bad.
I mean, you really can't see it, but it's crushed right in
That
through
sucks.
here. And all because they just took all these things, no bags, no boards, because that's how it comes, and they just dropped it inside the box. They didn't put any padding, so when it's in the box, it's just moving around in there. And then they take it out, and across the country, it was a collective, what the fuck?
That's weird because my shop owner showed me a Penguin Random House was packing the books. They actually have somebody who signs the packing slip and puts it in there. And when you get your invoice from them, it's a picture of the person as they're packing your books.
What? No way.
Yeah. So
that's crazy.
Like, you're right. There's been problems all across the country. So it makes me wonder if the rules are different per distribution center. I don't know what's going on, but it sounds like they treated them like books. You know, you just toss books in a box and you ship them and
that's crazy you say that because I was thinking the same thing because Penguin deals with just regular books, right?
Right. But here's the thing. My shop owner said they have special boxes that they provided him for his shipment that held the books really, really well. But I've heard that lots of people have had problems with their deliveries. We had a mutual on the Tweeter sphere post that they weren't even getting their Marvel books because they just completely lost it. I know you saw that, Rob. They lost a shipment. So, I mean, there's all kinds of problems coming up. But my shop had nothing but good things to say about the first delivery.
You're lucky then. Let's hope that it continues that way, at least for you. But if it winds up being 2-3 weeks in a row, and if a comic shop has all this product that they basically can't sell because a person will pick it up and go, I'll just get it on eBay and pay the extra for shipping.
Right.
And the comic shop loses that money. This is no different than somebody saying, well, I kind of didn't get paid as much as I thought I would. So can you put that on hold? And the next week, can you put that on hold? And can you put that next week on hold? And next week until I need money or else I'm going to go out of business. And that's what's going to wind up happening because of Marvel fucking comic book dealers and their stores by giving them shitty product that can't be sold.
And
Now,
here's the
I just
thing:
wanna read it.
here's the thing, you can't we'll make good and we'll ship your product. That's great. You've lost it at that point. You've already lost a lot of the top line sales because so many books are picked up just because somebody walked by and said, oh, that looks interesting. Let's say they get all of their books replaced to them and they're out to them next week. Next Wednesday, they open up. Now they have twice as many books on the shelf from Marvel or however many more. You're not going to have as many people being able to pick up as many books on a whim. So you're going to lose a lot of that just pick up sales. So this is nothing but a catastrophe for the people who've been affected. I mean, ultimately, what are they going to do? Stop selling Marvel comics? Okay, yeah, go ahead and give up, 33% of the market. Nobody's going to do that, so they're going to take their lumps on this, but it's really not okay. And Marvel really has to work hard to make that up to them.
Yeah. I remember a couple years ago that there were similar issues that were going on either between DC or Marvel. So they wound up giving almost away all these like 1 in 100, 1 in 500, 1 in 1,000 variants just so that it could pump up some costs for some of these stores. Now, there's a lot of stores out there that most of their sales are going to be in either the back issues or the very new books. Maybe not so much the 1 in 100s that might cost $20, $50, $300, $1,000. Very few people that might be getting that around certain parts of the country. And it's just a matter of time. Like anybody else, how long can you go without a paycheck or a greatly reduced paycheck?
Right.
And if Marvel does this over 1 week, maybe it's not so bad. 2 weeks, getting bad. Maybe a month. Can a shop go a month without people going, you know what? This shop over here, Crazy Bobby, he's been getting books that are shit tier quality. You shouldn't go to him. Comics is a lot of word of mouth. Before YouTube, we were looking at Wizard. Maybe Wizard might have had an article, but now you have Twitter, Facebook, all the social medias. Fucking, you're watching us now. If you're watching me, you're listening to me now, bitching about Marvel, which is probably a lot of other comic book shows on YouTube are doing just as well. Collectively, this is going to be something that better be responded to by Marvel. Otherwise, there's going to be some issues. And I don't mean the new issues, which I am very much wanting to read, but I'm a reader more than the collector, so I don't give a shit if it's not a 9.8. I want it, but there's a lot of people that came in from the pandemic that they don't care about reading it. They just want their 9.8 for whatever reason. Oh, I heard this was kind of a big thing this week.
Which one's this?
This is the first YA young audience for,
okay,
Miles. So I got one. And
He's that there new spider feller, huh?
It's the new spider feller, but now we get a more open-ended kind of origin story, so that way the little kiddies can understand it more, because trying to read Ultimate Fallout 4 and then make sense of all that happens there and then being imported from the Ultimate Universe into the 616, a kid's just going to go,
right,
what else is on TV?
Right.
Brain explosion.
Yeah, well, no doubt.
So this one I didn't realize was damaged the way that it was because, oops.
Oh, that's a shame.
I did it again?
Yeah, it looks like
That's
a
a
rat
shame.
gnawed on it or something.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's a decent looking copy, and now I only
nice.
need about maybe 5 more issues.
Nice.
Now,
Chris
this was
Barrett
one
in
of
the
my
chat,
big
by the way.
picks.
Real quick, Chris Barrett, he heard the same thing. He confirmed what I said about the shipping, because he heard the same thing. So it has to be a regionally based thing. Has to be.
Yeah, it depends on the area.
Yeah. That sucks. I'm sorry, buddy.
There's only so much we can do. But I did pick this up.
Wow.
This is the first appearance of Mangog. It looks like it's
Holy
at least,
crap.
Yeah, it looks like it's in an 8.0, doesn't it?
It's pretty, man.
But then
It's
you
real
take
pretty.
a look at the top right here, and it's the back cover where it looks like somebody went to go try and pull it out of a bag and board and then just put their thumb into the back a little too hard. So it just kind of tore just a tiny little bit.
Yeah.
$50.
Oh, that's a killer deal. That's a killer
And for
deal.
the longest time, I thought that 155 that has Mangog, a panel from this book, clear on the cover, and I thought that was Mangog's first appearance. And it was Robert the G-Man Galvin that was doing one of his auctions going, so here's the first appearance of Mangog. And I'm going, that's not the first Mangog. He's like, yeah, he is. He's on the cover. I'm like, no, he's not. Right there.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit, you're right. Colorblind. All right, so the last ones of Marvel, I'm just going to go through it quickly because it's X-Men, and I largely have stopped giving a shit about X-Men.
X who?
Exactly. Excalibur. It looks like we got some vampires. Here's Psylocke. It's actually Hellions number 16. Joe Jusko cover.
I would just buy that just for the cover.
Just for the cover.
That's Bullet
what
Cities.
it feels like. Now here's New Mutants, but at least we got Shadow King, so at least that might be.
I will admit that's a nice cover.
That's a nice
I
cover.
like it.
Yeah, I like it.
All right, so those are the Marvel. Now, technically, there are some Marvels that are in the independent stack, but I'm putting an independent just due to the fact that it was epic. You know, there's no capes with this particular storyline here. All right. So the first of the independents, I think this came out a week or so ago, and Ace will be getting me the only other issue that I'm missing. So this is the final issue of Baby Teeth.
It's a nice cover.
All black, and of course, I think you said 14, but I'm not sure.
Oh, I'll have to check. Want me to check?
If not, it's okay. I'll find it eventually.
What's Baby Teeth about again?
All right. So you ever watch Omen or Rosemary's Baby? Very similar.
I love Omen.
Okay. All right.
But Donny Cates.
But not written by a pedo.
Oh.
That's a plus. Always a plus not being written by a pedo. All right, so here's Buffy the Vampire Slayer, issue number 30. It is covered by Franny, and this is one of the covers I really liked from the series.
It's a nice cover.
All right, I forgot what this was about, but when I read the bio, I realized I gotta pick this up. It came in today. I forgot what I read that made me want to pick this up, but looks like she's surrounded by some drugs and she's going to go through some shit. I read the first 2 pages where she gets on a plane and she's just dealing with an asshole. I'm going, I'm going to like reading this.
It's so good.
Oh, you read it?
Yeah, we got a free copy, digital copy from the publisher.
Yeah, so I did good. I'm glad. All right, so here are the back issues that I picked up that were the independents. And it's printed by Marvel. It's epic.
Back issues.
But happy Halloween,
Clive
everybody!
Barker.
It's October. Hellraiser.
Hell yeah!
So nice.
That was
not
great.
just because it's the first issue. I mean, I like first issues and I like Hellraiser, but I have almost a full run of the Boom Studios one, which was spectacular.
I didn't even know Boom Studios did one. That's crazy.
It's so good. But it came out like 10 years ago or so, because I was still dating that one girl that was really, really bad for me. You drink too much. You drink too much. Welcome to my dating life a decade ago. Here's issue 2.
Oh yeah.
Now you're going
I
to
got a
notice
homie on IG that
a
collects
little
them
later
all.
on that now goes by a slightly different name. I love these covers.
Nice.
There's so many miniseries that
cool.
he wrote too.
So
in the
cool.
series.
Oh yeah.
So good.
Not that one, but you do have Colleen Duran working on that one.
I love Colleen Duran.
Me too.
Oh.
Trying to make it so that you can at least see the artists. Writers. Not this one yet. But
What's
you do
up,
have
Chaos?
Oh, hey, Chaos.
Ooh.
Yeah, you got John Bolton work in it.
Nice.
All right, so here's the name. See if you can tell me who is a name that also happens to be a famous film director.
I need glasses. Oh,
Old white man.
You
John
might
Carpenter?
know
What you got?
Larry Wachowski by a different name today.
Oh.
Lana
Yeah.
Wachowski, part of the
Yeah.
directing team of The Matrix and unfortunately
Yeah.
Brown Atlas. And Dwayne McDuffie.
That's a great cover. That is
Dwayne
a great
McDuffie.
cover.
And Dennis Cowan. Yeah, you got some good ones in here. I mean, out of
Wow.
all the things that I
Did
picked
you
up
basically
today,
buy a whole run of it, or
almost. It's issues 1 through 10, and
That's so
then you had
good.
issue 13, and that was it. So now I
Oh
need
yes,
issue 11, 12, and then 14 through 20. 20 is the last issue.
That movie scared
The
the
tough
shit
part
out of
about
me
those
as a kid.
Hellraisers is it wasn't comic people buying them. It was horror fans. It was
Yeah.
Hellraiser fans. And when they got rid of them, they didn't take them to a comic
Clive
shop
Barker
to sell 'em
fans.
like we do. They just got rid of them.
They threw 'em
So
away.
a lot of those Hellraiser books just don't exist anymore because the fans weren't comic fans. They didn't know about preserving them or taking care of them or keeping them or selling them back to a comic shop. They would just get rid of them when they were done with them. And if you
Like a
to find
magazine.
a full run of that's tough to come by.
Oh, yeah. I had 0 issues from the Marvel Epic run up until I was this many days old today. Can't wait to read them. Out of everything I got, whether it was that first Mangog or the ASM 301, my big pickup this week was Hellraiser because it's going to be the best probable read there because it's written by so many of the greats from days of old in the 80s and 90s. I heard this was good.
Yeah.
Never heard of
Not
that.
Guggenheim. I mean,
Last
I haven't
Flight?
read the first yet.
It's the end of the world, and the guy who made the spaceship to fly off the planet has to go save his daughter.
Oh, that's right up my alley.
Yeah,
Holy crap!
but she
Like
won't
a more
come.
grounded We Live.
Oh, she
basically.
won't come. Oh,
Yeah, so he has to go get her,
dang.
and the Earth is falling apart. The Earth's going to die.
The end
Everyone knows
of
it's
the
dead in about
world
6
as we
months.
know it.
And they've got to. This is the last ship. The first 2 already left. There's only 1 left. He's been begging her to come. She won't show up, so he goes to get her, and hilarity ensues.
Yeah, hilarity, violence, tragedy. I like tragedy
Yeah,
a lot.
yeah. Don't we all?
Hey, here's some tragedy. I bet it will be a tragedy in the end. I hope it is. I really do.
It's a great story. I'm not familiar with Scotty Young's writing. I don't know if he's done anything before this, but it is phenomenal. It's really good.
Yeah, he wrote
Middle West.
Fairyland. Middle West.
Oh, that's right. I didn't
I
read
hate
it.
Fairyland. Like that was phenomenal.
And
He wrote
Strange
that. I knew he
Academy.
drew it. I knew he drew I Hate Fairyland. Did he write
he
it too?
drew it, he wrote it, and
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
I actually like Scotty better as a writer than I do as an artist, which
I'm
aside
gonna
from the
have to
baby
agree
stuff,
with you there. Well, I love him as an art.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Oh no, I was just saying that as an artist, he's a great artist. He can do more than just the baby stuff, as we've seen like from the late '90s, early 2000s. But he found a groove with the baby stuff, and hey, more power to you. Put it out. Look at that
Right.
shit. Look at how awesome that is.
Right.
Yeah.
That's just.
Yeah.
He was
that's
doing
his
Deadpool and
non-baby
cable
stuff.
covers, trying to look like Bill Sienkiewicz back in the
Yeah.
early 2000s, maybe
Yeah,
very
there you
late
go. Even
90s.
Comic Zombie says Strange Academy. Strange
There you go.
Academy.
Oh yeah, duh, yeah,
fantastic.
yeah. I love a Strange Academy.
All right, I knew. I fucking love Fairyland.
Yeah, I have the books and the trade or the hardcover. So awesome.
Yeah, that was a great
Guess
chase.
what? There's one last thing I got.
Oh, show us.
An erection.
What is it?
You might know it as A Righteous Thirst for Vengeance by Rick Remender and Andre Lima. I can't pronounce that. Arujo?
Aroha.
Hoping for the best. Arojo.
Did that just come
Hope
out?
for the best, expect the worst. I'm the worst.
Yeah, I never heard of it.
When did that come out? Rob,
That came out today.
that was today book.
That was today.
All right then. Bum Bum song.
Bum bum song. What's wrong with you?
So basically,
Blue Chew.
those were all the books that came out this week that the majority of us tried showing. And What If came out today. It's the very final episode. I'm not going to spoil anything, but
I haven't watched
ties up
either.
things
Yeah.
well.
I can't wait. I have like 2 episodes behind. So shh. I'll watch it after.
I'm gonna spoil it.
Watu hangs dong.
Everyone dies. No.
There's some hot sapphic stuff that could have happened that didn't, and that was rude.
Oh, no, I'm not gonna be thinking about that when I watch the episode. Well, actually, I will be thinking about it. That one. Oh, what's up, Gore Vidal?
Hey, Gore's here. Hey, Gore, right as we're about to end the show. So is there anything coming up on your channels, your Twitter, I know that you have a show, Comics on the Mind, tomorrow. Last week all right, every day is just a goddamn mess because work is grinding me into the fucking ground. But hopefully I can check it out tomorrow.
Yeah, it'll be on my channel tomorrow. And if you did not get a chance to watch, I did a show with JP Budget Collect on continuing about talking about Invincible. We're basically going over Invincible, and it's been pretty epic. These last 2 trades, holy crap, it's been pretty epic. I really wish I was collecting Invincible when it came out, but I'm glad to be able to read it now. But so if you didn't get a chance to watch that, go ahead and watch that. But besides that, and the show tomorrow, I ain't got nothing else coming up.
I'd like to have nothing coming up, but that's never going to happen because it's always work time.
I thought you were going to say because I'm always around.
No, but that I appreciate. Anything coming up on your channel? Brags and Boards? Ace.
Next week we have our Sandman show.
More
And besides
Sandman.
that, I'm going to be having 2 people that y'all don't know joining in on the Brags and Boards team soon. So keep an eye out on that.
Oh, snap.
One of them looks like Jennifer Tilly, and she's my fave friend from Facebook. So get ready for that and me being like, hi.
We're going to need a reaction video of the movie Bound with Jennifer Tilly. Only because that probably had up until at least 1999 the single greatest 1 or 2 or 3 or all of them lesbian scenes in all of American cinema. I say American because we're just really conservative.
And the current best lesbian film of all time is The Duke of Burgundy.
Oh, good point. Yes. The very demanding woman, the older woman, that you think that she has all the power, but just watch the movie because she doesn't.
You just spoiled the whole thing. Good job.
No one's going to remember what I say. Even I don't remember what I say.
I remember every word you say.
What did I say a minute ago?
You said that you were going to PayPal me $57,000.
Good night, everybody.
23 cents.
So yeah, that's pretty much been our show. I just want to remind people, if you noticed that Facebook went out earlier this week and you were wondering, why do I keep engaging with things that piss me off? The reason of that is, well, it's pretty simple. The only reason that Facebook exists is to make money. If you wind up using a product that you are not paying for, congratulations, you are the product. And if you're engaging with things that are angry or hateful, and you're not engaging with puppies, you're not going to see puppies in your news feed. You're going to see things that will piss you off. When you go to advertise through Facebook, they don't show things that would advertise on, channels that might be of like mind. They will put it on places that will get people pissed off so that they will write about how much they're pissed off. People that are angry wind up watching you longer than people that actually like you. It's an odd, strange thing, but the only way that you can starve the beast is to stop engaging with hateful, angry assholes. And that's how you get rid of Facebook. That's pretty much it.
All I see on Facebook are hot bi non-binaries because that's the content that I seek.
Well, if you're engaging with that they will show you. But if you start engaging with people going, yeah, I don't agree with you, and this is all the reasons why. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and it's like a book. They're going to give you nothing but that.
Exactly. So why do that? We can go to Twitter and fight with Miracle Man.
I don't think he'd like that
Accurate.
very much.
If you feel like being an asshole on social media, come to my Twitter page and I will dunk on you. Or if you're really bad,
Jordan dunk.
I will publicly humiliate you until you change your username. Twice now.
What's up, Mad Spidey?
And if you're mean to Ace, I will literally drive to your house and set it on fire.
Don't do that.
Yeah, no violence.
All right. Well, this is called rhetorical hyperbole, so I can't be sued for it. Rhetorical hyperbole, I say. But yeah. So come on, say hi to Komoda1977 on Twitter.
Absolutely. And that's pretty much been our show for tonight. Anything else anybody wants to promote?
I would like to promote ABBA's newest album that has I forgot what I was saying. Hold on. ABBA's new album, Voyage. It comes out November 5th. I'm going to be doing a live reaction to it, my first listen, and I'm going to scream a whole lot. I'm going to be like, oh my God! So, all that jazz.
All that jazz and hoopla.
I do want to say,
it sounds like a cat in a carburetor.
Yep.
I do want to say I'm very sad that we did not have our other member of the team here tonight, Whack Comics, my good friend. If you watch us later on the replay, we missed you, and I hope
we love you.
And you are like my bestest friend in the whole wide universe, and I love you.
Not best.
Love you,
we love you.
Bestest friend.
And Rhea, if you're watching, we love you too. And this has been another episode of Not Near Mint. Now, guess what? Next week, we do have a very special guest. His name is Philip Miara. He was on the show before to promote Crackle Volume 2, which I thought was outstanding. It was so good that I ordered it last night, Volume 3. Ace wound up picking up Volume 1 and 2 for themselves, an extra one for me, and I ordered the issue 3. I can't wait for this book. It's going to be so good. It is very real to life. It is very emotional, and this is what comics it's really about. It's great art. It's great storytelling. It's stuff to make you want to look forward to tomorrow, because sometimes life is a bit hard, and that's why we have comic book therapy, because as shitty as life can sometimes get, at least we have sometimes other people in the comic book community and these great books that creators pour their hearts and soul and time and energy into, and we want to absorb it and love it just as much as anybody else. Stay tuned. Next episode, 10 p.m. Eastern, Philip Miara. That's been an episode of Not Near Mint. Thank you all for joining, replay viewers and live viewers. As you join us from week to week, we thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Love you.
Good night, everybody.
Like, really.
Bye. Peace.
Thanks for tuning in. If you want to see this episode again, along with a catalog of back episodes and issues, surf on over to Not Near Mint on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. Rob Worst, Lady Fantastic, Miracle Man, Comics on the Mind, Ace, and Whack Comics back next week. New Comic Book Wednesday, 10 p.m. Eastern Time on Not Near Mint. And remember,